I can't remember an All Saints Sunday when the world felt so upside down and acquainted with grief. A year ago, life included parties, fully attended sporting events, travel without second thought, and sharing the peace with hugs and handshakes. Our daily activities included public transit, work days in the office cubicles, picking the kids up from school, and visiting elderly family members and friends inside their homes. Every single one of these elements of normalcy has been disrupted, destroyed, turned on its head, or frankly scrambled. The world we inhabit now is strange, unsettling, and eerie. And I don't mean the Halloween kind. We really don't know how long this season of anxiety and uncertainty will last. We grow weary. Generalized and free-floating grief has become compounded by the acute and personal griefs of which we are especially aware on this day. We have lost family members and friends prior to COVID-19, griefs that have been difficult to work through. We have lost family members and friends to COVID-19. Some of those will be displayed in a few moments. We have lost family members and friends whose deaths became overshadowed by COVID-19. Added to our losses is the postponement of the usual channels and opportunities properly to grieve the losses and to remember the lives of those near and dear to our hearts. One of my most difficult and anguished pastoral struggles over the past 6-7 months has been the inability to help people who have lost loved ones properly grieve their loss. Old Testament prophet Jeremiah was acquainted with this intensity of grief as he witnessed the collapse of Jerusalem and the inability to hold funerals during his time. This is what Jeremiah said. Both great and small shall die in this land. No one shall break bread for the mourner to offer comfort for the dead. You shall not go into the house of feasting to sit with them, to eat and drink. So where is God, and who is God in all this grief and erratic grief? Through Jeremiah and our Lord Jesus, we know of a loving God who is well acquainted with grief and doesn't dismiss or deny real human loss. We know of a God who is most present in the places we least expect and speaks a word of comfort. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. We know of the present promise of a God revealed in Jesus who suffered grief and even wept himself at the death of his dear friend Lazarus. This was my daughter's confirmation verse. Jesus wept. We know of the present promise with a future ring from a resurrected Lord who casts the powerful vision that resounds in our reading from Revelation today. For this reason, the saints are before the throne of God and worship him day and night within his temple. They will hunger no more and thirst no more. The sun will not strike them, nor any scorching heat. For the Lamb at the center of the throne will be their shepherd, and he will guide them to springs of the water of life. And sisters and brothers, in a few minutes, accompanied by a strong melody of faith, we will view, remember, and celebrate those saints that have gone ahead of us during this past year. Every person who has entered the church triumphant is an apple in the Lord's eye. As the hymn goes, we feebly struggle, but they in glory shine. With their example and testimony, we keep on keeping on with these hopeful words from theologian Walter Brueggemann, and I quote, "The virus has imposed a huge silence among us. It is a silence that evokes loneliness and domestic violence and job loss. We wait. We may wait in despair or at least in deep disappointment. But we may also wait differently. We wait in confident faith. We wait in eager longing. We wait for the Lord. As we wait, we practice our next moves for the coming dance. It is only a little while, yet a little while. We will walk the long march of obedience. We will run the race of discipleship. We will soar like eagles into God's good future.